Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Josh Daniels, welcome. Happy Sunday to you. Welcome to today's episode of Sunday School Interaction Series, where I, dedicate this episode. I dedicate myself to helping people gain understanding of certain subjects of life that they need understanding on, but those subjects of life are not enjoying enough airplay um, in the mainstream society, mainstream discussion spaces. Yeah. Last week Sunday we delved into a title called Sexual Energy Alchemy. Yeah, the concept of sexual energy alchemy. And it was quite interesting because some people reached out to me even after that episode, and they, most especially in the aspect of masturbation, and apparently a lot of guys masturbate, more especially the ones that are not married, and they seem not to understand what they are doing. you know they seem not to understand what damage they're doing to themselves, their psychic, to their sexual energy field. They seem not to understand. Yeah, and just as I said, if you didn't watch the last episode, right, go watch it. I said some things about masturbation, but I'm still going to say some things today as well. Yeah. So sexual energy alchemy part two. Maybe this is going to be the concluding part. Maybe not. I don't know. At the end of this class, I would know if at the end of this episode, I'm used to class, but anyways, maybe it's class two as well. So last week we talked about sexual energy being creative energy and therapeutic energy. And I also said that it takes about 9 years to detox the DNA of your ex-boyfriend or your ex-girlfriend. Yeah, Mr. Maker, welcome. And for ladies, yeah, and I also said that sex is a sacred ritual, and you're not supposed to have sex all the time just for fun. Okay. So if you didn't go through, if you've not watched the episode, last week's episode, kindly go through it. Just scroll down, just type hashtag Sunday School Interaction Series either on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter or even YouTube, and you'll be able to see the one that carries episode 7, and then you can watch it. So today I want us to go into the concept of investing into sexual health. Okay, how to proactively invest into sexual health. Now, very quickly, I'd like to say that when you, if you're old enough to cultivate a romantic relationship or a sexual relationship, realize that going into a relationship with a guy or a girl, you're not going into a relationship with that guy or girl. Oh shit. Muti, we're online already, man.
Okay. How long? Okay.
Sorry, I got a call and it interrupted my live broadcast. So I wasn't able to inform people about today's episode, but this is the eighth episode, and if they still need me to inform them about it, that means they're not they're not interested, So anyone who is interested will join me, and maybe for next week I will have the time because I'm preparing for a couple of things. I have a 30-day sales challenge starting today, and that is one thing I've been focused on because that is business, right? This is voluntary charity. I'm just doing it to just enlighten people, and if they're not here, maybe they're in church. So I was saying that if you want to go into a relationship with a guy or a girl, or you want to get married to a man or a woman, realize that you're not going into a relationship with a man or a woman. You're going into a relationship with energy. You're not getting married to a man or a woman. You're getting married to energy. And until that is a fundamental um, lens through which you see relationships, you are going to be getting into relationships with people who would pull you down, people who would prevent you from making progress. You're going to be going into relationships with people who would not help you become a better version of yourself. Yeah, so it's pretty important that if you are going into a relationship with anyone, most especially romantic or sexual relationship, ensure that you realize that they function at the level of energy frequency that resonates with yours. Everything is energy. Your body is energy condensed to super low frequency. That is why it's in solid form. Yeah. Our intelligence is energy. Our ethics is energy. Um, whatever it is that you can think of in the material universe is energy. It's all fundamentally made of energy. But you see, if you are going to be going into a relationship with an individual who doesn't have any proactive enlightenment about the concept of energy and how that energy, like it said in physics, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Newton's first law of law of conservation of energy. Energy can neither E equals mc squared. Yeah. Um, that principle is a principle I deploy in everything that I do. Everything that I do, everything that I associate myself with. I deploy that principle every time. Whatever decision making I want to, I want to deploy, more especially when it has to do with human beings, my relationship with human beings. I always look through the lens of energy. You know, there's a lot that I know right now. There's a lot that I know today, of course, because I proactively began to invest into understanding certain things that our parents don't know nothing about. So our schools never taught us. I mean, I went through primary, secondary, and university. Never taught me any of these things. Religion never teaches this. Yeah, and if anything, they try to demonize anyone who try to talk about it. Whereas a lot of people are dying in silence. A lot of people are dying of ignorance, you know. So it's pretty important that you your decision making should be done through the lens of energy. Everything is energy. The customers you're gonna have is energy. If you're gonna have the right kind of customers or the right kind of clients that will relate with you, that will help you take your business to the next level, it's still through the lens of energy. Yeah. So it's pretty important that Every human relationship you're going to go into, ensure that you realize that you're going into a relationship with energy. So if it is negative energy, then you can guarantee that it's going to negatively impact your your current energy field. And your job part time is to ensure that you are guarding your energy field. You are like the guard. You're like the guard over your energy field. And like I said, what powers the energy field is the sexual energy. So if someone is coming into your space, into your life space, and the person is a perpetual carrier of a negative energy field, you are not wise to allow such a person to come into your life. You're not wise to go into a relationship with such a person, whatever kind of relationship. And not just romantic relationship or sexual relationship, including business relationship, including acquaintance relationship, friendship relationship. That is how you are going to proactively cultivate an evergreen life. No one can just come into my life who have not proactively assess their energy field, their energy frequency, their energy polarity. Whether you know it or not, when you have sex with somebody whose energy field is distorted by virtue of ignorance, by virtue of wickedness, by virtue of greed, by virtue of selfishness, it will corrupt your own energy field as well. It will corrupt your own energy field as well. And nobody teaches this. Hence, most people do not even have this understanding that this awareness, right? They don't have this knowledge, so they cannot deploy it in their life proactively. If I come into a relationship with you, if I come into a romantic relationship with you, if I come into a business relationship with you, and I realize over a period of time, whether it is over a period of 1 week or 1 month, or maybe a few months, because I max is 6 months. By the time I've come into your space, or you've come into my space, and because I try not to judge anybody. When I meet any individual, I try not to judge them because of the fundamental role I feel and to play in the life of every human being that the universe causes me to cross paths with. So when I meet anyone for the first time, I'm not judging, and I'm never going to judge. Even if we part ways, I'm still not judging. I'm just someone who knows what he wants, and by virtue of investing in enlightenment for more than a decade, I know what I want, and I know what I want to contribute into other people's lives. So if I come in contact with someone, or someone comes in contact with me for the first time, I will not judge them, but I will assess them. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. First, I want to know their level of ignorance, because education is the progressive discovery of our own ignorance. That is what education is. And that is what personal education is, yeah? And the corporate education is the joint discovery of our ignorance as a group. So we are having conversation on the basis of how we can help cure each other's ignorance, how I can help cure your ignorance, or how I can help you pivot your ignorance, and how you can help me pivot my ignorance. Because a lot of times I might not know that I'm ignorant in a certain area of life, and it will take another human being coming into my life space to identify it, and not just identify it, and possibly help me pivot that ignorance. Yeah. So one of the things I tell people is that every relationship should help you become a better a version of yourself, either become a better version of yourself or get to a better place in life. Every relationship that you cultivate, whether it is family member, whether it is, thank you so much, Femi Oshofi, for joining. Thank you so much. Whether it's family member, whether it's a friend that you grew up in the same neighborhood with, a neighborhood friend, or you went to primary school together or secondary school together or whatever. Whether it's someone you're meeting for the first time in at a new workplace, whether it is someone who you want to go into a romantic relationship with, whether it is a client you're trying to cultivate a business relationship with or customer relationship with, whatever kind of relationship should either help you become a better version of yourself or help you get to a better place in life. So by time, if I'm going into a relation, and I always use that same yardstick for myself. I use it to measure my role in other people's life. So I'm like, okay, this person, this great person, this valuable person that I'm coming into his or her life, what how am I going to help them become a better version of themselves, and how am I going to help them get to a better place in life? I always ask myself that question, as well. So I'm not it's not just one-sided. I'm not just trying to look for what other people will help me, how other people will help me become a better version of myself. Pari pursue, I'm also trying to look at how I'm going to help other people become a better version of themselves as well, and how I'm going to help other people get to a better place in life as well. So you can't you should not go into a relationship with someone just on the basis of, oh, they have money, or just on the basis of, oh, they are handsome, they are beautiful, cosmetic beauty. That you are going to, I mean, there are people that at a point they were multi millionaires. Maybe their net worth was like 500 million or even 1 billion, and today they are broke, they are poor, they're in debt, they have been in that mess for a very long time. But you see, these things are not mysterious. Life path is an energy path. The journey through life is a journey on the back of energy. Because if you proactively cultivate a life path powered by energy consciousness, there is no way that calamity will just happen. It doesn't see all those mystery painting that we find in religious settings, most especially powered by religious settings, powered by religious institutions, would only hold water with individuals who have not proactively invested in energy consciousness, understanding and demystifying the concept of energy consciousness, energy management, energy field. Because if you truly are someone who is invested into energy consciousness mastery, invested into the concept of personal discovery, or the pursuit of purpose and things like that, you realize that calamities don't really just happen. You would have managed yourself into it. A truly wealthy person can't just become poor overnight. It doesn't happen. All those mysteries that they paint, it doesn't happen. It is only someone who doesn't have an ethical foundation as far as their supposed wealth is. Maybe somebody that embezzled public funds. There are even folks today who embezzle public funds who would still never go. They will never go poor again, except maybe the hands of the law catches up with them. But if that doesn't happen, with what they have embezzled, they will never go poor again. It is what it is. Sad reality, but it is what it is. So it's pretty important that you pay attention to that aspect. That you are not going into a relationship with a man or a woman. You are going into a relationship with energy. You are not getting married. For those who are trying to get married or about to get married, you're not getting married with that man or that woman. You're getting married to energy. And it is the energy that you get married to. It is the quality of energy that you get married to that will determine the quality of life that you're going to experience with them, jointly experience with them. So I thought to emphasize on that. Now, also quickly, let me talk about balding. A lot of men nowadays go bald very, very fast. And they think that it is hereditary and, say things like, oh, it's hereditary and all of that. Maybe some part of some variety of balding is hereditary. I agree. But it is not every man. Even ladies now are going bald. A lot of them now, they they mask their balding with wigs and and the rest. Yeah. Even ladies are going bald. A lot of men who go bald. I mean, you find a lot of guys now, they can't seem to they make it look like, oh, they prefer skin to skin their scalp. It's not because they prefer it, it's because they have tried and tried and tried to have full hairlines, and for some reason their hairline keeps receding in inwardly and inwardly, and so they're like, man, this doesn't look nice on me. So they now decided that, okay, I want to be skinning, I want to be going on bald, I want to skin my hair, my scalp every time. So they're always skinning their scalp every time, but they don't understand the root cause. They assume that it's hereditary or it's nature's call, but it's not. Can I shock you that one of the scientifically, and when I say scientifically, I do not mean mainstream science, I mean alternative science, alternative medicine, has been scientifically proven that too much sex directly causes people to become bald, to go bald. Too much sex. When you have sex too frequently, if you're in your 20s, you're not supposed to have sex. You're not supposed to have sex more than once in 7 days. Once or twice in 7 days. All those talk of many rounds. How many rounds can you go? It's a talk of ignorant people. It's a talk of folks who are sexually ignorant. Folks who deploy a high level of sexual ignorance. And of course, because most people, most men operate at a very high level of sexual ignorance, you find that people are fleecing them and merchandising their ignorance, weaponizing their ignorance. You find all manner of um, sexual aphrodisiac businesses everywhere, littered all across the internet, littered all across social media. How to last long in bed, how to go many rounds, and all those kind of crap. All the things that shortens the lifespan of most men and even most women, but most especially most men. It's really important that you understand the real ancient knowledge of sexual energy, the sexual energy phenomenon. It's really important because, see, most of our parents don't have this information, because even our parents talk about, some men, some married men who are fathers, feeling intimidated that they cannot go multiple rounds. Maybe they can only go 2 rounds and things like that, and and because of the narrative of, they heard of a man who went 5 rounds and things like that, they feel intimidated, they feel less of a man, but it's because they're ignorant. In your 30s, you're not supposed to go more than once or twice. You're not supposed to have sex more than once or twice in 14 days. You can go and look it up. And in your 40s and 50s, you're not supposed to have sex more than once a month. And when I say this to people, they feel that this guy is talking trash. But I'm not talking trash. You can go and look it up. The reason a lot of people live short lifespans, the reason a lot of people experiences sickness, um, the reason a lot of people get tired very easily is because no one has taught them about the superpower of the sexual energy phenomenon. When people talk about multiple rounds, it's because they have not learned anything about the proper way to enjoy sex. I mean, it was when maybe after once 1 minute of sex, you have already ejaculated. Why won't you need multiple rounds? 30 seconds of sex, you've already ejaculated. Why don't you need multiple? It's not about how many rounds, it's about the quality of sex. Now, a lot of people don't know that when you ejaculate, that sperm that you're ejaculating was produced by all the hormones in your body. And all the hormones in your body place demand on all the cells in your body. Because every cell has what is called mucous membrane. That thing that is sperm is the combined contribution of mucus from all the mucous membrane of your cell. Now, when you ejaculate the first time and you're trying to ejaculate the second time, there is no mucus, there is no line around mucus for that second ejaculation or third ejaculation. A lot of times people do not really ejaculate the third, fourth, second, third time. They just orgasm, but they don't, because there is no sperm. There is no mucus to be produced into sperm. It will take a while for those mucous membrane to generate the mucus that is required for sperm production. Now, but because a lot of people do not have the proper orientation and proper education of the sexual energy or even the act of sex, you find them being led the rabbit hole by the mainstream media, by social media, by ignorant people who call themselves sexual therapies or whatever. And you find that these people are not able to wield their superpower, their personal power. When some people are preaching, you have to have sex as frequently as possible. I'm looking, except they are able to teach you the concept of semen retention, sperm retention. Except that is the only time it is healthy for you to have sex as frequently as possible. If you're not someone who have learned how to retain your sperm, because you are denying every cell in your body that mucus that was produced by that mucous membrane of that cell. The mucus is a protector of the cell. It's a mucous membrane. Yeah, it's a protector of the cell of your body. Now you have placed demand. You have demanded for all the cells in your body to give you their mucus, which is going to be used for the production of the sperm. Now, if you do not understand, that's why I tell people that, see, primarily, why the cells of your body are responding to the demand of that mucus is because they are assuming that you want to use it to produce a baby. That is the assumption of the cells in your body. Now you are probably not interested in producing a baby. Maybe you are even using a condom. Yeah. Now, haven't placed that demand. They don't expect you to place another demand in less than 1 minute or 2 minutes later. But because of ignorance, widespread ignorance of what is actually happening, you find that people swallow all manner of lies, all manner of sexual falsehoods, which is why they are unable to find their personal power. They are unable to wield the sexual energy as a superpower that it's inherently designed to be used for. I know most people are not used to this concept, this concept that I'm talking about, this sexual concept. People don't even like to talk about sex openly. Well, and that's why I'm having this episode anyways, because that is why a lot of people are functioning and languishing in sexual ignorance, sexual energy ignorance, sexual alchemy ignorance. So it's pretty important that you understand what sex is. Yes, you can have sex for pleasure, no doubt. But you see, if you always have sex and you ejaculate, and that ejaculation is not intended for making babies, you are denying yourself of a vital life seed. You are denying your body of its vitality. Because that mucous membrane was designed to do something in your body. And I'm sure that some of you have never heard of the concept of sperm retention. Even me, I heard about it I think it was just 2 years ago I heard about it. Yeah. Where even though you can have sex, but you don't ejaculate and you still orgasm. You see, the goal of sex, pleasurable sex, should not be ejaculation. The goal should be orgasm and even multiple orgasm. That is how you enjoy sex to the full. Because the moment you ejaculate, you are going to be overworking your body, you are going to be overworking your liver. A lot of people do not know that when they ejaculate multiple times within a sexual intercourse, whatever you want to call it, within a sexual intercourse act, when you ejaculate multiple times, from the second time you ejaculate, you are placing a huge demand on your liver. You are overworking your liver. Just in case you didn't know. So you can have sex for 15 minutes, for 20 minutes, for 30 minutes, and only ejaculate once. You just need to learn it the right way. And you can even have sex multiple times and not ejaculate more than once. You just need to learn that. Why do you need to learn that? Because that is how you retain the vitality of the cells in your body. When you have over-demanded the mucus that should be protecting the cells, it's easy for foreign body to penetrate your body and cause you to fall sick, for instance. And it will be harder for you to heal from sicknesses. But when you learn how to use that vital force to heal your body and not just ejaculate it, not just waste it, most especially when you are not intending to make a baby with that sperm. So pretty important that you understand that, and because not a lot of people are watching right now, I don't know if there will be questions at the end, but understand that balding is caused. One of the things that causes men to bald is because of over demand that is placed on their liver, on the cells of their body by having multiples, frequent sex, too frequent sex that makes them to, of course, ejaculate every time they have it. Yeah. So over ejaculation is one of the things that causes balding in most men. When I see young guys who are balding, young guys in their late 20s or early 30s, I just know in my mind, one of the things I'm thinking about is that, man, this person likes sex. This person today have sex. And 9 times out of 10 times that I've had to, put my hands in their mouth, I realize they love sex. They have sex a lot. I'm not demonizing sex. I mean, with all I've said, what I said last week Sunday, and what I've said so far today, that I'm not demonizing sex. I'm not. I'm just trying to give proper education that will lead to sexual power, real sexual power. Now, once again about the subject of masturbation. Now, the principal invention, the principal essence or purpose for inventing masturbation was not for you to ejaculate. It was for you to exercise the muscles of your penis. I'm talking about male masturbation right now. We only demonize it into masturbation, and of course, it's masturbation because you want to masturbate your sperm so that you can ejaculate. But that was not the original purpose for inventing that exercise. It was for the purpose of exercising the muscles, the lower muscles of your sexual organs. There's a name to call that muscle. The name is running away from me right now. But not for ejaculation. It is to exercise the muscles. Because the more you exercise the muscles of your penis and your private part, the more flexible you are going to be able to enjoy sexual intercourse. The more you're going to have mutual enjoyment with the person you are having sex with. Now, I'm not asking people who are not individuals who are not ready to go into a responsible relationship to be having sex. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm basically talking to individuals, adults. You're welcome to Super Fantastic Real Talk. I'm basically, just ensure that you watch. I've said some things, so I think you're just joining late. Ensure you watch the rebroadcast. You will learn one or two things. So I'm not talking about children. I'm not encouraging children to go and have sex or anything like that. I'm talking about adults like you, like myself, those in their 20s, those in their 30s. Those are the people I'm talking to, those in their 50s, So it's pretty important that we understand at fundamental levels the concept of sexual energy, the concept of the sexual act, how to properly maximize sex for our holistic well-being, how to use sex as a therapeutic exercise and not just for pleasure, and not just to appease our libido. There is more to what sex can be used for. So I was talking about masturbation. When you masturbate and of course you ejaculate, first of all, most masturbation doesn't last long, and then the more you masturbate as a man, the less you enjoy sex with a woman. It's proven. The more you masturbate as a man, but if you are trying to exercise the muscles of your penis as a man, you and not ejaculating, then you are going to be using that exercise proactively, positively. Because aside sexual intercourse, you should also exercise the muscles of your penis as a man, you know, not exercising it because you want to ejaculate, because you want to feel that high, that high of ejaculation. Whereas there is a difference between orgasm and ejaculation. Yes, for those who do not know how to separate the thin line between ejaculation and orgasm, or orgasm and ejaculation, one and the same. It's not one and you can orgasm without ejaculation if you learn the art. If you learn the art, you can orgasm without ejaculation. I myself am still working on mastering it because I'm not there yet. And you find that a lot of people do not know that such a concept exists. So you find that every sexual intercourse, every sexual act that they engage in, they always ejaculate. They always ejaculate. But it is absolutely possible for you to, master the sexual energy alchemy, the sexual intercourse alchemy to the point where you will not be having sex multiple times, like 4 or 5 times a week. You're not supposed to be having sex 4 or 5 times a week. At no point should you be having sex 4 or 5 times a week. No. You should be able to have one quality sex, or at most 2 quality sex a week. Quality. When I say quality sex, I mean quality sex. Sex that leads you to multiple creative outputs, sex that offers therapeutic effects on your entire body. Now, quickly, let me run through some of the things I wrote down here to tell you. Now, there are a few things that you can do to enhance your sensation or heighten your sensation. When it comes to maximizing the benefits of sex. Now, shutting your eyes in order to heighten sensation in other senses. Now, understand that there is no singular act that causes your body to deploy all the senses of your body other than sex. That's why sex is the number one sexual stimulant. Sex is the number one sexual stimulant, but a lot of people do not use it for that purpose. Then they do not know how to use sex. I'm talking about male and female. As a sexual stimulant, they just only use sex to try to quench or appease their libido. The same thing with hunger. When people feel hungry, they feel, oh, I need to go and eat. Whereas hunger is a gift. It's a creativity gift. Just like sex is a creativity gift. It's a key for opening the portals of creativity, but a lot of people do not use it like that. So shutting your eyes in order to heighten sensation in other senses is an intuitive approach to sexual exploration, And when every sexual act is not an adventure, you're not doing something right. When every sexual act is not an adventure, you're not doing something right. And in every sexual act, understand the role that novelty plays in sexual arousal. Before you have sex with someone, there should be something that you communicate with that person, both male or female, someone of the opposite sex. There should be something that depicts novelty, maybe a few minutes before that sexual act or few hours before that sexual act. Something that, because see, the brain jumps at novelty. So when you are not proactively trying to communicate something new, even if it's something, even if it's in what you are saying, just words now, it is a sexual arousal. It plays a central role. Novelty plays a central role in sexual arousal. So you have to be creative. You can't just say, oh, because she's not my girlfriend or he's not my boyfriend, I will not be creative. No, it works both ways. And I'm not just talking about a guy to a lady. I'm talking about both a guy to a lady and a lady to a guy. Novelty exchange plays a central role in sexual arousal. Now, the ultimate challenge of love making is finding ways to make each time with one's partner a fresh adventure. And the perpetual use of one's imagination to pull out sensory stops as well is highly required for nurturing a long-term sexual relationship. A sexual relationship that is long-term and will not be boring along the line. Yeah? Now, what are sensory stops? When I say sensory stops, what do I mean? I'll give you examples. Like having rose petals on the bed whilst you are trying to have sex. Yeah? Putting, stirring rose petals on the bed, wearing silk clothes. These have been known to stimulate one's imagination. Burning lavender incense. A lot of people don't do this. There are some special candle, perfume candles that you can light up when you want to have sex. Having chilled fresh fruit juice, like watermelon juice or pineapple juice or orange juice, fresh orange juice chilled, has been known to serve as a sensory stop, a sensory stop. Massaging each other with some perfumed oil as well before sex helps to nurture very healthy and long-term sexual relationship. If you have never massaged your spouse and you are having friction with your spouse, little wonder why. It's not far-fetched. Also, playing romantic music is also a sensory stop as well, and in any other thing that helps to, awaken the sexual sensation of your spouse. Now, to think that a good sexual encounter also helps to keep the brain alive and functional is almost too good to be true, but it is. You see, a good sexual encounter always helps to keep the brain alive and functional. So you need to understand the multifaceted benefits of sex and not just using it as a way to appease your libido. You are grossly underutilizing the massive benefits of sex. You're grossly underutilizing it. And if you begin to learn how to use the sexual act optimally, you would begin to enjoy the benefits of it. Now, way more than most routine activities, sex uses every single one of our senses. And it's a known experience that sex helps us engage our emotional brain circuit as well. I mean, when you orgasm, you are like it's lightning bolt up there in your brain, your emotional brain, the emotional part of your brain. It's lightning bolt. Orgasm is lightning bolt. That's when you can be messianic when you're orgasm, when you are, experiencing orgasm. You see some men, promising heaven and earth. So this is where we're going to be drawing the curtains for this episode. If anybody have any question, now is the time to ask. And if you're joining late, there's the broadcast will be live. You can join, you can watch the broadcast, and do ask whatever questions you have, and if you don't have any question, just extract the lessons extract the lessons from this episode. And I think this is where I'm going to be ending it. There are lots. There are some things I didn't touch because I'm like, let me not overflog the matter. But maybe I'm going to be having a closed door um, sexual energy alchemy mastermind, or Zoom meeting or something. Maybe I'll look into that because I think this is a need that a lot of people, I mean, few people join this live broadcast right now. Few people join, yeah. So, but there are a lot of people who need this information, and they are languishing um, in ignorance, and they are unable to maximize this concept. Um, so I think I'll have something. I'll design something for folks who might be interested. Yeah. So any question? I see that some people are still watching. Thank you so much for staying to the end. I figure that this subject is important. And so, do you have any question? Do you have any question? Because if there's no question, then I'll have to end the live. Do you have any question? For those of you, I see some people just joined. Um, don't don't get discouraged because there's going to be a rebroadcast, so you can just go through the rebroadcast and learn one or two things. I'm sure that there are a couple of things you're going to learn from this episode. Um, so I'm not seeing any questions. So if there's no question, then I'll just have to end it here. So every Sunday we meet, pick a topic. We have a new episode, a fresh episode, and social Sunday school interaction series, and we discuss things that has to do with the human soul, spirituality. Sex is spiritual, really. A lot of people don't know the concept of the human soul exploration. Everything that has to do with the concept of the soul, spirituality, sexuality. Yeah, those are the things that we discuss here, and have a date with me every Sunday. And for those who miss any of the episode, go through them. I always drop massive value in those episodes, and these are things that you should be paying for. But I'm not charging anything. I'm just doing it because it's my own. I want it to be my own contribution to helping people evolve into a better version of themselves. Evolve into their personal power. So, since there's no question, yes, I have a YouTube channel. Even though, I mean, this broadcast is streaming live right now on YouTube, but I'm not all about just telling people to follow me. I mean, if you stumble upon me and you think that you I have good content, then stick with me. But if not, I have a YouTube channel right now. This broadcast is streaming live on YouTube channel, right? Share Ambassador TV. That's the name of my YouTube channel. So yeah, I have a YouTube channel, and I think you should click on the link in my bio. Once you click on it, you'll see subscribe to my YouTube channel as part of the option, so you'll be able to easily subscribe to my YouTube channel. So have a day with me next week Sunday by 11 a.m. West African time. That's GMT plus one. And we can have quality discussions. I want this to be interactive. I don't just want me to just be pouring down my knowledge or shoving down my knowledge down your throats. I want you to interject me 10 minutes into the episode, 15 minutes into the episode with some questions. But uh, kindly help me tell people about this. And sorry for joining late. I just came back from church. Okay, no problem. Okay. So just look through the episode, and if you have any question, just ask it, and I would always answer those questions. Yeah. So take care of yourselves, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you next week, when next week Sunday. Bye.